Hey everyone, diving into the world of elevated customer experiences today with a global technology solutions provider and powerhouse C1. John, how are you?
Good, Evan. Good. Thank you. Good to be here.
Well, good to have you. We go way back in this industry, so I feel definitely my age as part of this discussion. But for the viewers and listeners, maybe introduce yourself, a little bit about your biography, and who is C1?
Yeah, thank you. And for sure grew up in this community and you being a huge part of that. Uh, I grew up in the business. I
Hmm.
started back in 94 as a senior in college, as you know, started what became Avaya's largest system integration and application development company around the contact center for many, many years. Sold it to their largest VAR, sold it to Aero Electronics. The house was painted and the grass was mowed, and I left out to the world of cloud in somewhere around 2012 and cut my teeth at CenturyLink 8x8 and ScanSource, and got invited to come back as CRO of C1. And you know, we're a solutions led company, as you're very aware. Some people say a super MSP, elevating that human experience. Our amazing CEO Jeffrey Russell asked me to come back and be CRO, and that was about 11 months ago, and it has been phenomenal. So it is good to be home.
Well, it's good to chat with you, a true industry insider, if there ever was one. So, talk about your decision about a year ago to come back to C1, and also, I think explain the mission at C1 for those who may not be familiar. What's the big idea?
Yeah, I'll start with the second part first. I mean, the big idea is real simple. We talk about being a solutions led company, as you mentioned, elevating the human experience. And for us, it's bigger than just, X's and O's and selling stuff. We want to help doctors save lives. We want to help financial people, make a difference for families. It sounds a little dramatic, but really it is our why statement. Back in those days, a guy came along named Simon Sinek when you and I were doing our thing, and finding your why is pretty important, and that really is our why.
Mm.
That elevating that human experience thing. For me, coming back first and foremost was the opportunity to come back to a place that I helped create 21 acquisitions in 18 years.
Wow.
Lots of great companies. I mean, Evan, think about this for 1 second. C1 acquired, you know, Cross and Arrow and SPS and Empire and Source, all these companies that you and I came into the space working with. And to come back and be part of that in this new world, in this new technology around AI and really the transformative type basis that we have now today was I couldn't resist with a
Well,
sprinkle
it's
of
a
nostalgia. With a
great
sprinkle of nostalgia.
opportunity. I
Yes,
love the
yes, yes,
nostalgia. Love,
yes.
as we get into middle age, it's fun to look back at the industry and all the changes over the years. And speaking of changes, what are some of the big technology changes and shifts that you've seen in the industry that make C1 different or unique from VARs, from traditional resellers, from maybe managed service providers? It's a crowded space, and there's not a lot of room for missteps these days.
It is. It's a weird thing as a Gen Xer. I'll turn 54 in February. And so when I came in to the whole space, I didn't have a cell phone, didn't have an email address, um, had a visor pager with the blue lights, and I prayed that you would beat me so I would look really cool and get to stop at a phone booth and put the coins in, et cetera. And I've got to see a lot of it, just like you have. But these days, it's a little bit different. One of the things about C1 that really attracted me was our own IP. And
Mm.
it's really the investment that this company has made in foundational technologies. Remember that C1 acquired basically after Cisco acquired Spanlink, we acquired that IP and brought in things like OnGuard from a security perspective,
Mm.
Marklink Yankee, um, um, who was very involved as our CTO with Spanlink and some of those folks that you know over there. And then that really morphing into this foundational ecosystem of what we call Fabric, which is really a platform that brings in contact center, and now with the advent of AI, really adapting and taking advantage of that ecosystem to form something really cool. So for us, it's a little bit different as an MSP because not only do we sell $1 of product and wrap it with $5 in services, but we have our own IP. So it's really important that we get C1CX Ellie, which is our AI platform, out to the world. Very important for us.
Really important. And when it comes to contact center and unified communications, it's, the most dynamic time in the industry. And yet we're seeing all this consolidation, change, disruption, M&A, private equity coming in. But what is the customer telling you these days throughout all of this change? What do they need when it comes to, communications, collaboration, customer service and beyond?
Yeah, they want to, they really want to maximize their investment, as you can imagine, from
Mm,
a tech perspective. They want to make sure that they're keeping the lights on per their financial investment. But the number one thing is they want to please their customers. They want to delight their customers. They want to take care of their customers, and that's easy to say and hard to execute. And so we've seen all this technology be introduced where we can monitor social media. Uh, you've seen a few of our friends be on an airline flight that gets delayed and they get a bad customer service experience. They're the first to tweet it on X. And within minutes, if you're the right kind of company, you'll call that person and say, "Hey, I'm sorry that happened to you. How can I help you?" So there's a social aspect to it with regards to customer service. There's an efficiency aspect to it with regards to folks calling in and wanting to spend money and book services and do those kinds of things and want to do it efficiently. They don't want to repeat their information 5 times, and they want to be remembered like all of us do. Getting on a call with you after knowing you 20 years and not talking for 10 and feeling that warm welcome both ways, right? Like people that we're humans, that's what we want. And so there's a lot of that going on right now with our customers, and the right kind of technologies will help make that happen.
yeah, absolutely. And there's some belief that AI, Gen AI, has been overhyped and that we're in a hype cycle. But yet, when it comes to our space, in particular customer service and contact center, enhancing customer experience and agent experience, this is the low hanging fruit. I mean, this is the opportunity of all the opportunities that will be most impactful. But what say you? You're doubling down on this space and you're seeing real practical utility and use cases today, right? This isn't a future story.
No, not for us. The conversational AI scenario has been here for a while, and
Mm,
we have participated in that. We've enjoyed it. Um, it is the big brother, big sister of
mm.
IVRs and IVA, and the things that we've done to take advantage of that. The generative part is the part that we're really focused on. We have big customers. We service 35% of the Fortune 500, 50% of the Fortune 100. They want to make sure that they're giving their customers the best experience possible. And um, it's incredible with generative AI, what we can do now with the things we talked about in the contact center years ago with, agent
Mm.
assist and and really making that experience better for the customer via the agent. But that learning experience through generative right now for us is a thing where we are continuing to gather case studies with some of the biggest companies out there and continuing to push that out to the world. So it's a very big deal for C1.
Yeah, and talk about C1 a little more, your portfolio, your strategy. You have so many arrows in the quiver. How do you think about all these partnerships and alliances and OEM agreements? And how do you think about putting together solutions these days?
Yeah, it's easy to it's easy in our world to be a mile wide and an inch deep.
Hmm.
We don't want to be those people that have
Oh,
relationships with 400 suppliers.
right.
We want to be smaller to get bigger. As a $1.5 billion company, that's easy to say, not so easy to execute. So we're very careful with the suppliers and the OEMs that we go to market with. Think of us with three different pillars. We have this incredible CX collaborative pillar, which is all around contact center, all around collaboration. It's the space I came from back in the days of Avaya, and as that morphed into other technology solutions with other OEMs, et cetera. So CX is a big pillar for us. The second pillar would be definitely what we call IX, which is really networking and infrastructure and
Mm.
surrounding some kind of formidable wrap around that, where we can offer not only professional services but a managed service to go along with it. And then lastly, um, what everybody's talking about is what we call SX and the security pillar that is so important. And Uh, it's not a matter of if you're going to have a scenario, but it's a matter of when you'll have a breach. And so security plays into everything we do. And then I think, in my mind, like the smart guys might disagree with this, but in my mind, I think of AI and generative AI and the things we're doing kind of sitting over top of all of that and just pulling it along because there's a place for AI in each one of those pillars. But that's really the way we think of it. Again, I'm charged with every dollar we sell of product, surround it with $5 of services, and make sure that we're taking our unique prospect to the world. So that's how we think about it.
Oh, fantastic. Value prop. And you work with, who's who in the Fortune 1000. So you mentioned so many different segments and verticals. How do you see your customer base evolving? Are you going to double down on that Fortune 1000? Are you going after other kinds of businesses, SMEs or otherwise? Where's your sweet spot these days?
Yeah, horizontal wise, we're segmented as you would expect, right? We have
Mhm.
our vertical, or we have our horizontal space from an SMB perspective, our major accounts, our enterprise accounts. But from a vertical perspective, that's really our focal point. We do a huge amount of business in public sector.
Mm.
Um, it makes up almost 50% of our business here at C1. We are
Wow.
very focused on healthcare. Again, taking that patient care and supporting doctors and nurses to the next level is pretty important. And then, of course, finance is always a big one as well. But really focus, Evan, on those verticals where we can jump in and make a huge difference. I think I can't remember the last stat I saw. I think the top 20 healthcare providers in the U.S. we deal with 17 of them in some way,
Wow.
shape, or form. So it's pretty important to us.
Yeah, important for me too. As a patient, we're all patients, family, friends. So here's to your success there.
Yeah.
So we're kind of in the dog days of summer. It's a little hot in Florida now. But what are you looking forward to over the next weeks as we get into the busy season, events and meetings and travel? What's on your mind for, next quarter?
Well, first off, we got a little bit older, didn't we? And I have, I don't know about you. I know we've talked family previously. I've got five kids. So number
Wow.
five, I only think of them in numbers now, by the way, Evan. It's 1 through 5. And so number five and number four started school this week. So the 6 a.m. wake up call comes pretty
This
early.
week? What time is it? I've lost track of these things. Yeah, wow.
Bro, it's not like when we were young. I remember it was Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Right. What happened? Yeah.
That was exactly what happened. And like these kids, God love them, they got to go back way earlier now. So school's starting, things are getting rolling, wedding season for our industry, which we commonly refer to as wedding season, which is really the show season has ended. So the dog days of summer are almost over, and then we'll go right into the fall. A lot of our big OEMs and suppliers have their shows as we go into the fall. Cisco starting a new fiscal year; they're an important partner of ours. We have others Um, Dreamforce is coming up and some of the other big
Mm.
things. So we'll be present at all those things and presenting and spewing our pablum and having a good time with our friends, and getting right into the holidays, and then it starts over again. So there's no rest for the weary. I'm sure for you too.
Well, it's we're used to this lifestyle, and yeah, here's to more young people coming in to this industry. I know something you are personally keen about, mentoring and teaching, and that's an important part of what you do. Thanks so much just for the update. I'm sure we'll see you at many industry events as we head out in September. And thanks for your time. Always fun to catch up, John.
No, I love it. I just want to, before I go, um, I just want to give out a shameless plug for you. You always, I know we haven't spoken in a long time. We've written a couple times, but man, your presence on X and your presence in social media in general, in the topics that you bring, I just want you to know they're so compelling and so interesting. You really, and the subject matter is so different. I really enjoy reading your stuff, and I know a lot of folks feel that way. Um, I feel like you're one of us and really proud of you and what you've done in this new world. But if you haven't followed Evan, please do. He didn't ask me to say this, but it's really interesting stuff. And
I didn't ask, but the check's in the mail. I'll take that. And that's a mic drop moment. So I have my 60-second reel and TikTok highlight already lined up. No, but all seriousness, thanks so much. Look forward to connecting with you and your colleagues out in the field. Thanks, John.
thank you, Evan. Have a great day. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for listening, watching, reading. Take care. Bye bye.